Hi, I'm Lars Vito from Optimus Information. Today I'm here with the founder and CEO of Bean Services, Jared Leviton. So Jared, what is Bean Services?
So Bean Services is an online solution that helps companies streamline their payables. And what that means is companies who receive lots of different invoices from lots of different suppliers in a paper-based format, which is a traditional way that companies are receiving invoices today, we take that process and we streamline it, make it electronic, put it online, and make it very easy for all these construction companies, property management companies, shipping companies, government service companies to process these invoices all the way from when the goods are procured to when the invoices are paid.
Okay. Take me through the typical process an invoice would go through using your service.
Well, an invoice would arrive at reception or at the mailroom, typically in paper format.
At the client's office.
At the client's office, and we would encourage them to actually get the invoice via email. But if that doesn't happen, they would scan that invoice directly into Bean Bills. And one of the great features that we have in the system is the ability to capture that information right off the invoice through what we call our order capture service. So an invoice can be scanned directly into the system, and the next day they have all the data along with that invoice to push it through the next stages of their workflow. So that's the first part. And then once the data has been captured, you then code it electronically on an online system, and then following that it gets submitted for approval, all electronic, all through workflow rules and business rules to all the appropriate people in the channel, in an approval channel. They get emails. It's very simple. They follow an email link, log on to the system, away we go, do the approval, see the information, and goes to the next person. And after that, once that's done, then the invoice is pushed into their accounting system or their ERP system, the data.
Great. When you say pushed into the accounting system, is there integration with other systems there?
Correct. So we integrate currently with Yardi, Timberline, QuickBooks, and we're working on a multitude of other integrations as new customers come on board with those particular products and solutions.
Nice. So let's hear a bit about how you started Bean Services.
So back in 2005, I was the CFO of a company called Macklin Feldman Management, or SL Feldman and Associates. And in that business, we had thousands of payables that we had to process. That was one of my responsibilities. And so not only did we have to process these payables, we also had to rebill them. So to our clients, so we had to recover money that we were spending on behalf of our clients. And it was a nightmare of a process. And once I sort of, the geek that I am, looked for a solution out there that could help us with this, there was nothing out there unless we wanted to customize and spend millions of dollars. So I thought, what a neat thing if you could combine capturing with a workflow solution that's all online, that you can really speed up this process and make it all automated. Mm-hmm. And then I thought this would be a great business, and built and said, okay, well, let's do this, and met my business partner, Matthew Belsberg, and we developed a prototype. Left Feldman, built a prototype, and the prototype took us 6 months to build, and that's how we started Bean Services. And so to answer your question, what is it really doing? It's really taking the pain out of payables, making it much easier, much quicker, much more accurate. Mm-hmm. It's solving the problem of being able to centralize payables, because a lot of companies have multiple locations and they need to centralize everything. So it centralizes everything and brings it all online into one system. And it has a big impact both on the cost center side and on the strategic side.
Mm-hmm. And so how is your offering different from other payable solutions?
So a few different things. One is most of the solutions out there today are just software based. So they may be on-premise, which a lot of them are, but there are some that are online as well. But where we distinguish ourselves is, besides being online and being offered as software as a service, we also have a services component where we actually capturing our customers' invoices every day and working with them every day to ensure that they've got a good workflow going. So we're services as much as we are a solution.
And for that side of the services, do you use OCR as well?
So we use a combination of OCR and people to verify the information in the back end, because OCR is reaching its plateau in terms of what it can produce, and where we offer the service in terms of our order capture service is companies don't have to go out and buy expensive OCR software and a solution. We provide the result for them. Send in the image, we send you back verified data. You don't have to worry about what happens in between, because we verify it all for you.
As a cloud-based application, how do you see that landscape evolving?
It's very, very exciting. Such an exciting time. I think that the cloud is almost a little ahead of itself in terms of what it's being proclaimed to be, but it's there's so much happening, so many different participants getting involved. So where I see it going in terms of the space that we're in is you have companies like Microsoft who are trying to do everything or a lot of things themselves, and you have certain accounting systems that are also trying to do everything themselves, which is anti-cloud. And you have companies that are putting together platforms like Salesforce, who are existing as a platform, and then having all their partners produce all the specialities in each of the individual fields. And I think that's the future, and that's the future we want to be in. We want to partner with all these platforms and ultimately be a platform ourselves, which companies can partner with us, where we specialize in payables. Payables processing is our thing, and so we really become super, super good at payables processing. We link to a lot of other different applications out there in the cloud, and companies will use us for payables.
Great. And so how do your customers respond to cloud-based offerings?
It's very mixed. I mean, depending on customers, prospects, customers of ours are more advanced and early adopter types, so they really understand the cloud and are comfortable with it. One of the biggest questions we get or fears we have is, well, my data is now not on premise, it's not in my server room, it's somewhere in the ether, and what happens? So we have features and pieces that we comfort them with, like the ability to have all their images routed onto their server however often they want, plus some data and metadata, so they can actually have that all resident in their servers when they need it. And so it's improving in terms of their feelings towards the cloud, but it's still got quite a bit of a hurdle to go. I think the tipping point will be next year, when people really start to push out all the different services.
And how do you manage customers' expectations when it comes to customizations or versioning?
Very carefully. Well, for us, we do a release every 6 weeks. So we have a very rapid development rate, and we're always listening to our customers and always responding with new features and functionality. And so managing expectations that way is pretty easy, because they always know something cool and something new is coming along. And we just keep it open communication on, these are the new features you can expect in the next 3 months, and these are the new ones you can expect in the next 6 months, and we just will let you know as they come along.
That rapid development cycle. I know you've been using our services at Optimus Information for the development. How has that been going?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's been a fantastic experience. From the beginning, I had deep reservations about outsourcing to India. And for me, it was really about meeting Pankaj, the owner of Optimus, and finding comfort with him. And once that had happened, and hearing all the great references and all the good stories about Optimus, we really dug deep and said, hey, we've got to do this, and it's really been the best thing for us. It's enabled us to really really accelerate our development, and the key has been everybody on the dev staff is very engaged with everybody else in the team in India. So they're almost a little adjunct to what we do here, and that's the way it really has to happen for it to work. They're not here's the work, see you in 3 months' time. It's very much talking to them every day and communicating every day. So we have a team effort in development.
So you feel like despite the half a world away, the team feels like it's working together?
Well, I mean, the distance thing is something that just takes a little while to get used to. I think they're always available for the most part. When you can get hold of them, but they're totally reachable. We use Skype a lot, we use GoToMeeting, we use all the different tools that are available there, and we meet once a week where all the teams are on Skype, all the team members are on Skype, and we're communicating about all the different pieces. And we also use a great project management tool which Optimus provided called Redmine, and that's been a very great help for us to manage each of the pieces, so even to the minutest detail of what's going on. And that's really helped me from a management point of view sort of control the process and make sure we're on top of things.